I used to really struggle painting in watercolor, um, and I made some changes, and now I paint daily. My biggest reason why I was struggling is because I used to just try to paint something pretty. I didn't actually focus on practicing. And once I changed that and started practicing daily, that's when watercolor suddenly stopped feeling so stressful. So what helps even more is I created this schedule. So every day of the week, I have something different that I focus on. And this gives me a structure and tells me what to practice every day. So I don't have to overthink it. All I do is just look what I'm doing today, and then I do this short practice. So I've done quite a few of these videos now. Yesterday, I really like yesterday one. I was doing galaxy backgrounds, and the first one, it doesn't look terrible, I guess, but the blending is just not happening very well. But then in the next one, it looks completely different. So I really find it very helpful to practice, especially when I'm using same sketchbook, because I can see my progress. So I hope you join me in this. Today I will be practicing color theory, and we're on week 2, so we're practicing harmonious colors. We will be doing very easy exercises. It's not going to be paintings, more like patterns, but I find them very helpful because first of all, it's just really helpful to loosen you up if you're kind of struggling to pick up the brushes and you're feeling a bit stressed about watercolor. Just doing these exercises, it might seem a bit pointless, like what's the point just painting some blobs and stuff like that, but actually it ends up being super helpful. So I want to encourage you to grab your brushes and your paints as well and paint with me. Oh my goodness, that was a lot of talking, but I thought that was important to say. Right, so harmonious colors. Harmonious colors are the ones that are sitting next to each other on the color wheel. And if you use them in one painting, it creates a lot of harmony and this kind of peaceful, calm painting. But rather than painting something big, I will just be laying the colors down, something very simple, more like swatches and stuff. We're going to start with just literally like strokes. I will do yellows and greens. Actually, let's do a little bit more. So just random blocks like this. And so this is basically, we'll be doing kind of layering. This is going to be wet on dry, which is something I don't do a lot of. Just to loosen you up, get familiar with your colors, and yeah, have fun and relax and don't overthink it. Very easy. So what I want to do is I'm putting down first the lighter colors, the yellows, but then I'm going to start moving on to greens. You can do different strength of the color. I'm kind of going quite bold with quite a pigmented paint because I don't know, I just did it. I wasn't really thinking much about it. But you can vary it however you want. What I want to do with this exercise is I want to make sure that I don't overlay. Once I overlay that, the paint is actually dry. Because for the next exercise, I will actually be doing wet in wet. This one will be more like wet on dry. And it's very simple, very basic, but doesn't this just kind of have this, just the harmony of it all? It's just so pleasing to the eye. I don't want to overdo with the greens. I'm a bit wondering if I add another green, if it's going to spoil it. I feel like it might, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So I suppose I'm testing how many colors is too many. Normally limiting the colors, that this might be still wet. Oh yeah, I made a mistake. It's okay. I'm just a bit impatient. You know what? I'm gonna try to mop it up. Oh, I should have left some space here because I normally write down the date and everything. I am really not with it today. I don't know what's happening. Right. Should I leave it like that? You know what? I'm just gonna let it be. Right. But I do want to let it dry now. And okay, because I'm a control freak, I'm just going to mop up a little bit of this. I feel like this is too strong. So I just went with the dry brush to mop it up. Okay, so I'm gonna let it dry and then I'll layer some more colors. But while this is drying, I'm going to swap my brush to a round one. And this time I will be letting the colors merge, just like what happened here. I will do probably like circles, random circle sizes and stuff. What should we do? Should we do yellows and pinks or blues and purples? Let's go for blues and purples because they seem quite similar. I kind of, you know, like with the yellow and green or yellow and red, there seems to be like, at least in my head, I feel like there's more difference in the color, but blues and purples are kind of similar in a way, aren't they? It's not that much. Does that make sense what I'm saying? I don't know. I just feel like I want to see what blues and purples will look like next to each other, but I want to use a few different blues, just like I did with the greens and yellows. I'm going to let them match. Just random shapes. Just gently touch. I'm using too much water, I think. So I'm going to mop it up. This brush, it's kind of quite flexible, but it's also, I tend to do a lot of splatter with this brush. Just like what happened here. It's a bit of a messy brush. So I'm using different strengths, some pale, some a bit darker. Now some of them will start drying while I'm doing it, so I kind of need to make sure that I grab a few of them while they're still wet. Now this one's too wet. This is turning into one big mess. It would be better. Cotton paper would be better. This is not cotton paper, unfortunately, because it takes longer to dry, so I would have a little bit more time. But let's see what we can achieve. Different strands, maybe a bit of bigger one. Now it seems like what's the point of this, but actually you don't really need to paint something, you know, like a painting, to actually learn a lot and to actually improve with watercolors. I find that these exercises actually really help me much more, and I feel so much more confident when painting because I can, for example, compare the results. I do something a few times, changing things a little bit, and I learn a lot, just like I did with that galaxy background yesterday. It turns out I was using the paint was too pigmented. I wasn't using enough water for the blending. I was trying to avoid like this cauliflower effect, and I thought, oh, I should use a thick paint, but actually I was using it too thick. Sometimes something small change can make a huge difference. But what I tend to do, what I used to do, if something wasn't working, I would usually blame it on me, but quite often it's something like the paper or just pigment strength or something. You know, it's not really your fault. The mistakes often don't mean you're not good at painting. It's just you need to change something and then it will work. But to do that you need to practice a few things, see what works, see what doesn't. So really, the more you practice, the easier it becomes. Right, I think that's probably enough, maybe a little bit around here. Some of them are blending, but some are drying quite a bit now. Wait, no, I'm going to switch to a different, let's do stronger, this one. Okay. these are drying now. I feel like I wanted to add a little bit more contrast, a little bit stronger ones. There we go. Oh, this is not really gonna be a circle. It's okay. Okay, maybe a little bit more purple, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm getting distracted because my daughter is hovering near the door. I think she needs me for something, so I think I'm gonna have to stop. Priorities, eh? Oh, and I just made a mess because I'm rushing. That's okay. Right, I'll let this dry, and then, because I'm not sure if this one is fully dry, I'll layer a few more here, and I'll be back. Okay, let's move back to the layered painting because it's now dry. I'm going to just layer over what I already painted. Now, upon reflection, I think I regret using the darker green. I feel like when I was using yellow and one of the greens, sap green, it looked better. Now I feel like there's a little bit too much. It's just too many colors. Sometimes just limiting how many colors you use can make a huge difference. So yeah, I definitely need to watch out for that. Now it might seem like kind of what's really the point of doing just this? It doesn't seem that helpful, but actually if you do these sort of exercises when you're actually thinking, okay, I'm using harmonious colors only, then it's easier to then remember when you're actually going to paint something, you know, all these things. I used to read a lot about color theory and all that, but then I kind of would forget to use it in practice. So if you actually do these exercises, your muscle memory and just like the way you think, it starts to change. At least that's what I've noticed since I'm doing these exercises. The way I approach paintings is so different. Okay, so 2 easy kind of exercises. The next one that we will do, and I will actually do some flowers, but again it will be more like a pattern, not like a pretty painting. It might turn out pretty, who knows, but I have to wait for this to dry and then we'll try that one. Okay, so the next exercise I want to do is kind of like this blob flowers, and I'm going to use some yellows and reds. I will try to limit the palette a little bit more than here, but we'll see. I might get a bit too excited. Okay, so I think I will mix it up. Some flowers will be red, some will be yellow. I'll start with this. So what I'm going to do is just do this like a donut shape, and then add some red to the center. And just gently tap it. It might spread a little bit too much. It's fine. There we go. And now I'm going to do red donut flower. You don't really have to leave the white space. You can just color it all in. But I kind of like, I think this one I probably maybe did it a little bit too big. Let's just like this. There we go. Okay, and now I'm going to use yellow, maybe cadmium. It's spreading a little bit too much because I'm being a bit impatient with it. But hey, it's just a little exercise. It's not supposed to be perfect. Okay, I think I'm letting it go a little bit too much. So I will now paint a few flowers. Let them dry a little bit. And then once they dry a little bit, then I'll add the insides, because this is spreading way too much. Look at this. Goodness me. Okay, wait. I wanted to change the color. Let's do a different one. My notebook, my sketchbook thing is starting to fight with me. I lost a clip. Had a clip for the pages to like hold them down, but well, I haven't got it anymore. So it's starting to be a little bit tricky. Okay, let's see if I can use some video. Now, when I'm adding a new color, I'm trying to make sure it's thicker than the one that's already laid down, so that it blends. But it can be a bit tricky too. Okay, shall we use the same color? I'm actually going to use a red for this other flower, but I want to make sure it's thick, because this is a bit watery. There we go. Still a little wet. Yeah, still too wet. And this one is too wet as well. Goodness. I definitely need to practice this more. Okay. Maybe one flower like this. I thought this is going to be an easy exercise, but I'm really messing it up today. But I'm actually quite glad that I am, because I think it's very useful to see someone else mess up and not just see perfection everywhere. I used to feel quite intimidated by watercolors, because everyone used to be like, you know, I would just see everyone doing so well and pretty pictures and everything, and I would feel like, why am I so bad at this? And it made me feel discouraged. But now I'm just kind of just trying to embrace the mistakes and understand that it's just part of the process. Right, okay, so I feel like this one is quite safe now to add some. It might not even blend, it looks almost dry. Yeah, I think I might have even waited too late with this one, but it's hard to kind of just keep an eye on all of them. This one, let's try this one. I'll use the same yellow. No, actually I'm going to use the other yellow. Right, thick, quite a thick mix. Let's see, it's still shining a little bit, so I don't, oh yeah, it's shining too much. It's too wet. Okay, what about this one? It's starting to dry here. I feel like maybe this one will be okay. So look, I'm either going from spreading way too much, or this is creating cauliflower there. First of all, it's not blending very well, but also it was too watery. So yeah, so far I've not really managed to do a nice one. It's quite depressing, really. Right, let's see if I can manage with this one. Now again, cotton paper would probably be helpful now. Okay, this is kind of looking what this was my goal, something like this, but I don't know, it seems to be spreading a little bit too much. Right, shall we just do a flower with this as well? Okay, so this is something I definitely need to practice more, wet in wet. I thought I already had it way more under control than this. But rather than feeling defeated, I'm going to try to look at it as something positive, because I discovered something that I need to work on. Yeah, I'm saying this. I don't know how I will feel after I finish this video. Will probably feel rather deflated, but it's part of the process too. I feel it's okay to sometimes feel discouraged. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely not turning out how I wanted it to. So red and yellow, they don't even look that harmonious to me either. I don't know, is it because red is such an overpowering color? I thought this would feel calmer as a kind of painting in general, I guess. It's kind of feeling a bit chaotic. Is it because of too much mess happening? I don't know. Yep, no, I'm starting to mess up. I think I'm starting to get a bit frustrated because look, I let it become this cauliflower. Okay, deep breath. I will do one yellow flower. Okay, it's okay. It's okay if you mess up. Practice is the most important. The fact that you practice, that's the win. Okay, lovely yellow flower. I'm going to switch to a smaller brush as well. Let's at least try to do one well, because this is such a disaster. Look at that. It's just terrible. Okay. Smaller brush. Do I have a smaller one? I had a 4 somewhere. 6. Oh, never mind. Let's just use 6. Okay. Right. Nice thick color. Let's see. Will you be nice? Will you be good to me? Still a little bit wet. I think this part especially. It's spreading a little bit too much, but that's the best I can do, I guess. This one's not terrible. Another thing you can do when something's spreading too much, you can try to mop it up a little bit. But I try generally, I don't like disturbing the washes because it often ends up worse. But okay, yeah, so this was exercise in humility. Definitely didn't turn out nice, but that's also important. So yeah, don't get too stressed. We all make mistakes. This actually is not too bad. It's the blending is actually not terrible. This definitely too much water. But hey, that's why we do it, to learn, right? So if you enjoyed the exercises, I have more of them. I've been doing it every day. Some are more of a failures like this one, some are better. I'll link the playlist at the end of this video. And happy painting. I hope you keep practicing and don't be too hard on yourself, and hopefully see you in the next one.